Welcome to Perfect Vocals Academy YouTube channel. If you want to learn audio engineering from top to bottom, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Be sure to turn on notifications so you know every single week when we release a new tutorial. Hey guys, this next video is going to be about making vocals very wide. This is something I really didn't get into until probably the last couple years. But with vocals, I find that it just sounds way better if the vocals are wide. And I'm even talking a mono lead vocal. So I'm going to show you how to make a mono lead vocal that's in the center of the mix and kind of widen it. There's a few different ways. And then also I'm going to touch on making like background vocals wide as well. So first off, I want to show you this awesome plugin made by JST Plugins. This is called Side Widener. So this plugin, it's pretty simple. You have three different modes. You have the width, the tone, which I don't feel the tone does too much, but yeah, the width, tone, and then output. So output is important because when you start widening, it makes the signal louder. So you want to dial back the output, which is why the output is dialed back. So let's check this out here.
Set in the mood, let me light a candle.
Here's without.
Never been for small talk, I set the example. What's the point of going?
Kind of made the vocal like boxy, more chunky. Didn't sit in the mix that well. It really does a lot if you listen.
Set in the mood, let me light a candle. Never been.
Obviously, yes, it gets a tad quieter, but it does more than that. It's spreading out, and you know, it's making it wider, and it seems to just smooth out the vocal as far as that chunkiness that you kind of hear.
Set in the mood, let me light a candle. Never been for small talk, I set the example. What's the point of going slow when we could take a...
Okay, so for a main vocal, I don't go too crazy with width, because if you go really intense with this width knob, it's going to sound kind of chorusy, or some people that don't know too much about production might say it's like sounds like there's too much auto-tune or something. It makes an effect that's noticeable. So you don't want to go too intense here. I'll show you.
Set in the mood, let me light a candle. Never been for small talk, I set the example. What's the point of going?
It just, you know, it widens it like crazy for sure, and we're gonna get into that with background vocals. But for main vocals, I like to just go very subtle.
Set in the mood, let me light a candle. Never been for small talk, I
And here's
set the
without.
example. What's the point of going slow when we could...
Very mono, it just doesn't sit that well.
Set in the mood, let me light a candle. Never been for small talk, I set the example.
Okay, and then I also have the Waves Doubler. So what the Waves Doubler does, it makes copies. So you see these bands here? You got, or voices, not bands. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now this preset I used, it's only got 2 of them engaged, so that's on and off. Perfect Vocals Academy presents the Vocal Mixing Masterclass. Do you want to become a profitable audio engineer? This course includes a PVA sound treatment ebook, 15 in-depth videos, as well as worksheets for each video. Bonus video, how to profit as an up-and-coming audio engineer, and a bonus Pro Tools template using Waves plugins is also included. So this here is making a copy of the vocal. It's multiplying it, and there's a slight delay, there's a slight detune, and it's, you know, doubling the vocal artificially.
Set in the mood, let me light a candle.
The reason why this makes it wide is because we're panning each one of these voices. So there's 2 voices, right? So we're adding a voice on each side. This plugin lets you pan 45. So kind of like this. So we're panning these duplicated vocals. So that also makes it kind of wide. Let's listen without it.
Set in the mood, let me light a candle. Never been for small talk, I set the example. What's the point of going slow when we could take a gamble?
It's very subtle. I mean, the widener is way, way more obvious. Let's hear without the widener with doubler.
Set in the mood, let me light a candle. Never been for small talk, I set the example. What's the point of going slow when we could take a gamble?
Yeah, you can kind of, if you're listening on headphones, you can kind of hear just the side information. There's a little bit of added side information with the vocals. That just helps out. It all adds up at the end of the day.
Set in the mood, let me light a candle. Never been for small talk, I set the example. What's the point of going slow when we could take a gamble? When I know you the one and I just need a sample. You can ride it all night, baby, saddle up.
Nice. This artist, his name's T Walls. If you like this, go check him out on IG. T Walls, very talented rapper and very consistent with his releases.
Set in the mood, let me light a candle. Never been for small.
So, okay, and then there's also widening the reverb, which I don't think I did in this session, but I'm going to show you.
Set in the mood, let me light a candle. Never been for small.
Let me mute the beat.
Set in the mood, let me light a candle. Never been for small talk, I set the example. What's the point of going slow when we could take a...
Okay, let's add the widener.
Set in the mood, let me light a candle. Never been for small talk, I set the example. What's the point of going slow when we could take a gamble? When I know you the one and I just need a sample. You can ride it all night, baby, saddle up. Different city all the time, we some travelers. I wanna see you face down with the bottom up. Set in the mood, let me light a candle. Never been for small talk, I set the example. What's the point of going slow when we could take a gamble? When I know you the one and I just need a
Okay, that's with it off.
Set in the mood, let me light a candle. Never been for small talk, I set the example.
Then with it.
What's the point of going slow when we could take a gamble? When I know you the one and...
Yeah, if you listen really closely with headphones, and, you know, you can hear this with speakers too, it'll just make it way wider. So it's gonna make more room for the vocal in the center and then just filling out the side information with reverb. So you could do this with delay. Some people do chorus, like a chorus plugin, like put that on an aux track and then put a widener on there. Any sort of effect it can work well with. So and another thing you could do, this is without a widener, this is without a doubler. There's really no backing vocals in this one.
Let's have a...
But
Set in...
if you have 2 backing vocals, I'm just going to make copies of this and just make an example, I guess. Okay, and then we'll pitch them down or something just so might sound goofy. Okay, I just made a copy of that vocal and I pitched them down so it's different, so it doesn't phase. And now I'm going to pan, so let's name these so you know what's going on. BGV1 or left, and then BGV right. Okay, so first of all, if you want really, really wide backing vocals, and say you don't want to do it with doubler, you don't want to do it with widener, there's a way to do it with EQ. So I panned the one to the left and then the one all the way to the right. And then I'm going to put an EQ on each one.
Set in the mood.
Like I said, it might sound goofy. I just pitched them down, so.
Set in the mood, let me light a candle. Never been for small talk, I set the example. What's the point of going slow when we could take a gamble?
Okay, so I'm going to, this is the left vocal. This is the left low vocal that I just added. So let's roll off some. Let's add some mid-range to get it to cut. Maybe some high-end.
Set in the mood, let me light a candle. Never been for small talk, I set the example. What's the point of going slow when we could take a gamble? When I know you the one and I just need a sample. You can ride it all night, baby, saddle up. Different city.
Okay, cool. So I got the one sounded a certain way. And I'm going to keep this EQ up so we can see it. Now, I'm going to EQ the second one, the one on the right, a lot differently.
Set in the mood, let me light a candle. Never been for small talk, I set the example. What's the point of going slow when we could take a gamble? When I know you the one and I just need a sample. You can ride it all night, baby, saddle up. Different city all the time, we some travelers. I wanna see you face down with the bottom up. One time sound good, but it ain't enough. Set in the mood, let me light a candle. Never been for small talk, I set the example. What's the point of going slow when we could take a gamble? When I know you the one and I just need a sample. You can ride it all night, baby, saddle up. Different city all the time, we some travelers. Set in the mood, let me light a candle. Never been.
Okay, so what I did is I EQ'd them different. I didn't just drag over the plugin. They're EQ'd quite a bit different. So, especially this middle one. So I got like 10 dB of 1300 and then I'm cutting around there. So let's listen to those by themselves. Mute the beat.
Set in the mood, let me light a candle. Set in the mood, let me light a candle. Never been for small talk, I set the example. What's the point of going slow when we can take a gamble? When I know you the one and I just need a sample. You can ride it all night, baby, saddle up. Different city all the time, we some travelers.
This will work better too when it's like two different vocal takes. Like I made copies, so it might be phasing a tad.
Set in the mood, let me light a candle. Never been for small talk, I set the example. What's the point of going slow when we can take a gamble? When I know you the one and I just need a sample. You can ride it all night, baby, saddle up. Different city all the time, we some travelers.
Yeah, so this is going to make it nice and wide.
Set in the mood, let me light a candle. Never been for small talk, I set the example. What's the point of going slow when we could take a gamble? When I know you the one and I just need a sample. You can ride it all night, baby, saddle up.
Yeah. Again, would sound way better if it wasn't just copies of the vocal. You want to track your background vocals, record them. But yeah, just keep in mind that, and this is anything with instruments or anything, if it's a synth, you could have a synth on the right and a synth on the left, and just EQing them differently or kind of like opposite of one another. It's going to make the stereo image very big, very wide. So, okay, guys, that is it for this video. Be on the lookout for the vocal mixing masterclass. I'm almost done with this thing. It's hours and hours of different modules that will teach you everything you need to know about audio engineering, and it's going to definitely take your skills to the next level if you're interested. If you are interested, head over to perfectvocalsacademy.com, subscribe to the mailing list, and you will get information about this course. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and feel free to share this video with anybody or groups or anybody that might find this helpful. I'll see you guys next week.